Right, I am here with Adrian, who's going to talk about Mansfield. The first big question is, what the hell is that kit?
Beautiful. New away kit. I mean, it's a beautiful kit. Was released a couple of days ago ahead of the 2021 campaign, which we are going to do well in, hopefully.
No, you're not.
Wow.
No, you're not.
Okay.
For those who've obviously watched a few of these videos, you'll notice that the negativity has started already between me and Adrian because we actually know each other. He's a friend of mine. So
I am a friend. I'm a friend, but apart from Rob supports a completely different club, which I do not like, and hopefully Warsaw finish below Mansfield this season, just to rub it in a little bit more.
yeah. To be honest, though, if you finish top three and we still finish top three, you can finish above us. That's the only time I'll allow it.
Yeah. That's the only time we'll allow it. But if we finish above you and we go up and you stay down, win for me.
All I'm saying is, at least you'll finally know what it's like to be a League One club.
Oh, here we go. The banter's coming in already. I mean, yeah, we haven't been a League One club. We bottled it, so
it's facts. It's just facts that I'm throwing at you.
It is fact. I mean, if you want to go into the second division, third division debate, then it's fair, but not a League One club.
Yeah. Right. So we'll start with how last season was, because from the outside, it seemed that you'd assembled quite a good sort of playoff pushing team to kind of build on the last couple of seasons. And, well, it didn't work out that way, did it?
No, I mean, we signed a couple of players. Obviously, we signed Andy Cook from Warsaw, obviously. We signed Nicky Maynard from Bury, Kellen Gordon from Derby. I mean, the signings go on. I'm pretty sure we made about 6 or 7 summer acquisitions last season. John Dempster stepped in from the academy after David Flitcroft got sacked and kind of went downhill from there. The season really went off to a bummer. I've got to be fair, I've got the fixture list from the last season right on my wall here, so I know everything that went on. First 2 games we drew, then we won at Carlisle. We lost against Orient, and it kind of just went downhill from there. So it's in a brief nutshell. It wasn't meant to be last season. I'd say it went down to managerial decision, acquiring John Dempster, which wasn't a good decision at all. Academy manager coming into his first team appointment, which didn't work out. We've signed Graham Coughlin from then. COVID stopped the season, and now we're looking to rebuild.
So Mansfield have got, or at least at the last look, 3 ex-Walsall players in the team. Obviously, like you said, Andy Cook, although he was shipped out on loan, famously scored against us in his return to the club, which we all knew was going to happen. And then you've also got Mal Benning and Matt Preston. What are your thoughts on the ex-Saddlers?
Matt Preston, this is PG, but in my perspective, awful defender, flying into tackles left, right, and centre. 2 or 3 sending offs last season due to his absolute pure aggression and flying into tackles. I think it was who did he fly against? I'm sure it was a home game, but I was sat in the stands. Wait, was it my birthday? Yeah, it was against Orient. He went into a flying tackle, about broke the guy in half, an edge spear type of thing. Literally, the guy was stretching. The Leyton Orient player was stretched off. I'm not sure who it was, but it was an awful tackle. I mean, awful defender for us. He had a decent season in the 17-18 campaign, but 18-19 campaign.
Yeah, I mean, he was not, when he was with us, he didn't really get a full season. But he was always, you look at him and you know that he's going to be a tough centre back. But
yeah, he comes across that way. I mean, when we saw him in the start of the campaign, 17-18 campaign, he looked that way, but
it
just went wrong.
And Mal Benning.
Oh, Mr. Consistent. I love that man so much. You can't, the last season's campaign wasn't the best in his repertoire in his last 5 seasons for Mansfield. But that guy, I love him so much, especially when he scored against Chesterfield, the winner, the 1-0 winner at the Proact Stadium. Oh, always in my heart. His volleys, his free kicks. He's a beautiful man, and he's in my heart forever. If he leaves, I'll still love him. I'll still follow his career, but he's a god.
Great. So what didn't work last season? Because like you said, I mean, looking on paper, James Vaughan and Andy Cook up top should have absolutely torn League Two apart.
James Vaughan?
Not Vaughan, sorry. Who are you saying?
Maynard. Nicky.
Maynard and Cook should have torn League Two apart. I mean, that's a strike force for League One. Yes,
the thing is, we've obviously had 3-4 strikers. We had young Jimmy Knowles in there, Danny Rose, Andy Cook, and Nicky Maynard. Nicky Maynard, in a lackluster team, he managed 15, 16 league goals, which, I mean, it's good. It's up there. Second top goal scorer in the league with, I think he scored 3 hat-tricks last season, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. So, yes, he was right up there. It was quality. A fox in the box, as they like to call him. But with Andy Cook, what can we really say with Andy Cook? He was missing, shall we say. Manager didn't really play him that often. He was regularly substituted on. I think he had a handful of starting 11 appearances, but that's about it. And obviously, he left on loan to Tranmere. He's still at the club. He's still contracted at the club for another season. So we'll have to wait and see with Andy Cook. We'll talk about the summer transfer window signings a bit later on.
Yeah.
We've made a handful of striker signings. So it'll be quite interesting to see where Andy Cook really fits in there.
And if he does end up leaving, or
I mean, I wouldn't mind him leaving. He scored 7 goals in the league. Well, 7 goals in all competitions last season. So it's not up there with your Nicky Maynard and your Danny Rose, who were hitting double figures, but he wasn't given the chances. So
yeah, was there, because one of the things when he left that divided Walsall fan base opinion was that there'd been arguments with fans, and there was a bit of a negativity between Andy Cook and fans. There was a lot of clashes towards the end of the season that saw us get relegated. How did he get on with the fan base?
It's a mixed bag among Mansfield fans. Some of us like him, some of us don't, but that's up to personal opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen sneakily there was a few rumours of Andy Cook leaving to Tranmere potentially in the summer transfer window. So
I think with who they've signed, I can't see them needing another striker.
Yeah, they won't need another striker. They've obviously signed James Vaughan from Bradford, which is a fantastic deal. They've obviously snatched Otis Khan from Mansfield as well. So, yeah, Tranmere are looking to rebuild and looking to have some stability, really, after getting relegated. But carrying on with the Andy Cook situation, really, it's divided. One of the young lads obviously DM'd Andy Cook regarding the rumours, and Andy Cook politely told him to go away, to leave him alone. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. Some people like him, some people don't. I think it's just his nature. It's just himself.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of he seems to rise to a cheeky DM from what I've seen amongst our fan base.
Yes, he does. I mean, there's plenty of what do you want to call it, trolls or people who are just wanting to know what's happening with him personally. Yeah. But he's having none of it sometimes, and sometimes you've just got to let the footballer be. Sometimes
yeah. So it's been a busy summer.
Very busy.
let's crack on with all these signings that you've been, messaging me, being like, we've signed this player, or we're going to win the league, or we've signed this player, we're going to win the
I've
league.
never said we're going to win the league.
No, but you said you're going to go up, so.
I've never said we're going to go up. I'm not jinxing us. I have said nothing about us being in league position-wise. I don't know what the season will bring. Obviously, I don't know when this will come out, but we're still 2 or 3 weeks away from the time of recording until the season does start. So it'll be interesting. But kicking off the summer transfer.
Here we go.
Okay, so first of all, we signed Jordan Barry from MK Dons. He played for Crewe for a little while as well. Back in his day, he's still I believe he's like 28, but playing as a striker, he hasn't been firing the goals. I've looked at his goal tally, and I think the last season he scored double figures was the 15-16 campaign for Crewe, which for a striker is very worrying. I don't know if there's been any long-term injuries for him.
There was a lot about him when because he came through Villa's youth, didn't he?
Yes.
That he was kind of made out to be, he's going to be a good player. He had a few loan spells throughout the leagues, but he doesn't seem to have really hit the heights that were expected, and it's been a slow kind of creep down to football.
I hope, fingers crossed, I hope that we can get the best of Jordan Barry. Obviously, being as a striker, we've got a lot of strikers. Andy Cook, Jimmy Knowles, Danny Rose, Jordan Barry, and the next transfer window summer signing, which we did make, was Jamie Reid from Torquay United. Obviously, he was formerly of Exeter City, decided to go into the non-league game and decided to get his trade in the semi-professional game, which he did. He fired Torquay United into the National League in his first season. Top goal scorer, I believe it was close to over 30 goals that he scored for Torquay United, which is phenomenal. Last season, it was a bit less. I believe it's near 20 goals, which is still great.
For a team that's not the absolutely walking the league.
Yeah, they finished mid-table, Torquay. So I mean, if you've got a striker that's firing double figures, 20 goals a season, fantastic.
Yeah.
He's obviously signed with the Stags. One of my messaged me because my mate's dad used to train Jamie Reid. So he messaged me a week before Jamie Reid was announced, saying, "Look, Adrian, Reedy is signing for you." And I'm like, "What, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my dad used to coach him. He knows everything. He knows the ins and outs." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay. Let me have a bit of a gander." So I did, and yeah, he looks like a phenomenal player. Hopefully, I don't know who will start in that striker position now. I'm pretty sure it'll be a 2 up front, so it could be either Cook, Rose. I was about to say Maynard, but he's not signed. Barry, Reid, or Nos. So you got a lot of depth though. You kind of think any one of them, if they have a bad spell of form, there's a lot more players to come in. Yeah, there's a lot more hungry players in the squad now than there was last season. Last season, as soon as obviously I want to say October, November time hit, heads started dropping down, form out the window, and yeah, no one was really hungry. So those are the 2 players that we signed first, I believe. Those are the key opponents in the striker position that we acquired. But do you want me to move on to the next one? Segue it through?
Yeah, because we could be here for some time otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll probably go from the back. So Conrad Logan and Bobby Eleshnik left the club. Bobby retired. Conrad left. He was released. So we were only left with one goalkeeper in Aidan Stone, and Aidan Stone is only 21. Let's put that into perspective. So we definitely needed number one to show Aiden some guidance. So we signed Luton Town's Marek Steck. He obviously got them promoted into League One and helped them on their way to the Championship as well. So signing a player like that was really good, but it is to say that he hasn't been playing. He hasn't had any game time for a year due to an injury, which is very worrying. Obviously, there's pre-season friendlies going on right now, so hopefully he can get 90 minutes in the tank. But
like you said, though, he's a signing of intent. You look and you go, right, he's promoted out of this league, and it's only injury that's seen him drop back to League Two. But it's a good solid signing.
Yeah, it's a good solid signing. I'm not saying that it's not, because it's an absolute great signing, but we've signed an experienced keeper that knows how to get out of the league. But the thing is, his injuries only worry me due to the fact that he hasn't played a year of football, which in League Two context is a lot. This league can be quite physical, can be quite tough, and we really need a solid base to start off the team. A goalkeeper is very key in any team. No clean sheets, goals conceded, team falling apart. And yeah.
So what are the key signings have been made then?
Ferran Rawson from Forest Green Rovers, defender. He's signed. He'll probably play centre back with Sweeney, I want to say. We signed Rollin Meneyese from Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers fans call us the BTEC Bristol Rovers because we signed so many Bristol Rovers players because of the Graham Coughlin link. Yeah, we've signed him.
We've been the same with Bristol City the last couple of years because of Darryl and the Bristol connection. So
there you go. We spoke about Rawson, we spoke about Meneyese. One that recently just signed, Aaron O'Driscoll. He was formerly of Southampton. He's signed. He's another defender that we've added into our repertoire. Who else has signed? We've made so many signings. I'll probably miss some. Who else have we signed? George Maris. He's signed from Cambridge United. He looks quite solid. Obviously, an attacking midfielder. That role is probably for Otis Khan, because Graham probably knew that Otis Khan was bound to leave and we needed an attacking midfield option. So George Maris has signed. We've talked about Reed, Bowery. Who else have we signed? I'm trying to think. There's been so many signings. Ollie Clark, he's signed. Former Bristol Rovers captain, he signed as well. Another Bristol Rovers player. There's been so many signings. I'm trying to
Does
think.
that worry you though? In the sense
so many signings.
Because our look on it is that we've kept a settled team, and you look at the squads that did well last season, and a lot of them hadn't made many changes throughout the summer. Do you feel that it's getting the players in, getting them to gel this season with a real promotion push next season? Or do you think if they hit the ground running, it is a team built for an immediate playoff push?
I mean, we needed a rebuild. It was bound to happen, especially with the new gaffer coming in. We really needed a change. I mean, looking, I'm on the Mansfield website now, and I'm looking at the other signings that we made. We've signed James Perch as well, ex-Premier League. Corey O'Keefe from Birmingham. He was on loan with Macclesfield. I think those two are the last ones. But going back to your question, really what we needed was a lot of change, because the team that we'd assembled essentially was a mix of your Steve Evanses, your David Flitcrofts, which they're not here anymore. So we really needed to bin those players, because those players, their mentality was, we lost the playoffs. What else have we got to do? So they were hungover still from an 18-19 campaign, and potentially you could say from a 17-18 campaign when we just missed out on the playoffs. So it was really to do with a rebuild. We needed fresh blood, fresh players who were willing to play for the badge, for the Stags badge, and you never know what could happen. They could gel really quickly, they could gel really slowly. But if they gel really quickly, potential playoffs, you never know. It could happen.
Yeah.
But if they gel really slowly, it'll take a season or two, which I'm pretty sure Graham Cochran won't mind.
So you said there's new management. When was the managerial change? Were you happy with it? Are you happy with who's come in? Talk to us a bit about what's going on at the top.
I mean, at the top, it was interesting. I believe Graham Cochran came in, I want to say in December time. Dempster got sacked just before, which game was it? Let me have a look. It was just, I think it was after the Crew game away where he got sacked. And then a couple of days later, we saw the announcement of Graham Cochran coming in from Bristol Rovers. Then we saw his assistant Joe Dunn come from Bristol Rovers as well. So a real change. I was quite shocked when Flitcroft got sacked because up at the top they said we wanted stability, and Flitcroft only got a season and a half. Dempster, half a season. Coughlin, he's been given half a season, but he's still at the club. So if it follows in that pattern, year and a half, where's the stability? It's worrying that we've sacked so many. We haven't sacked so many managers. You see the situation at Oldham, for example, other clubs where you've had. I spoke to an Oldham fan on one of my podcasts, and they said they've had about 8 managers in the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Which is real. But still a constant year and a half. It's sort of, if you're coming in midway in a season, you effectively are getting maybe January. If not, you get the summer and then 1 season. That's it, which is difficult to really change a team around, especially if it's full of players that you don't want to work with or you don't think fit.
Yeah, that's the thing. With the management now, with Coughlin and with Joe Dunn, they are really key on fitness. I've seen on so many interviews on the Mansfield website, and all the players that have come in, they've got fitness written into them from day one from Graham Coughlin, which Cochran wants to see, because he really wants to run over teams. Last 15 minutes, use the fitness, use the not as much tired legs as the other teams may have, and really run over teams, which is good to see. But if that works, if the players do adapt to it and they start the season, hit the ground running, fitness beaming from them, then that could be an upside. But you've just got to see with the games when the league starts. It's really hard to see when you're playing League One teams and friendlies and under 23, because they're in a completely different league. So
it's been a bit of a strange pre-season, like you said. It's a lot of clubs are playing clubs around them, which when you're at our level, you're either playing very small clubs, under 23s, or leagues above. There's not sort of a League Two test.
No.
Which makes it difficult. I mean, on the day of recording, we've just beaten Shrewsbury in a friendly, which you go, great, Shrewsbury, but you don't know how strong a lineup they've played, what stage they're at. I mean, we played Crew in our first friendly. We lost 2-0. But it was their 4th or 5th friendly, and it was our first. And at the moment, with the gap that's happened, teams are at a real different stage. Like they were going, we want to give as many players 60, 70 plus minutes. And we're going, great, we're going to play 2 different 45s. Like they're very different sort of tactics to where you're at?
Yeah, we've at the time of recording, we've got a game lined up. It'd be tomorrow against Rotherham. That will obviously be played, and you'll the Stag stands will obviously see the result. We played Peterborough in 2 60-minute games. Obviously, we had 2 different lineups for the 60 minute. So you see that tactic came in. We played Nottingham. We lost to Peterborough 2-0. Let's point out. We played Nottingham Forest under 23s. Obviously, yet again, under 23s, not a real test, not a real League Two test.
Difficult because we played Wolves under 23s and they've got a really good academy, but we don't know the players.
Yeah.
That's the Wolves lineup and go, oh, they're their like brightest kind of youth products. So you kind of don't know whether you've had a really good game or whether you've played just they've put an 11 out. It is difficult.
It is what it is. Going back to the Forest game, they fielded out a decent lineup from my knowledge anyway. We beat them 2-0. Jimmy Knowles and Mal Benning scored. Mal Benning.
Your boy.
Your boy, Mal Benning. Yeah, he scored, which was great to see. Jimmy Knowles, obviously, our youngster, he also scored. But we haven't been really given a League Two test. It's just we really need to see where we're at, especially when we play, I believe it's Tranmere at home for the first game of the season.
Yeah, this is the day fixtures have been released for people watching when it's released.
Yeah, exactly.
In the future.
We've been given the fixture release, and obviously we've got Tranmere at home.
It's a good first game for you.
Yes, I'll take it, but I do not want to see Otis playing against us. It'll be very unusual. I'll probably say he'll end up scoring against us some way or another. But we just need to get the season started and see where the teams are at, really.
Who have you got in your cup game the week before? Because I mean, from our point of view, it's been announced that we're playing on Sky, or that the game will be on Sky, but we're playing Sheffield Wednesday, which really no Walsall fans expecting to win that game. But yeah, it'd be great, but if we lose, we kind of, you're not going, oh, we should have beaten Sheffield Wednesday. But I think it gives us a good opportunity to have another 90 minutes where the pressure's not on as much.
We've got, I believe in the Carabao Cup, we've got Preston North End. So yet again,
similar situation
with Walsall as well. Mansfield just sat in a similar situation. Preston North End, Championship team. If we beat them, we beat them. We're into round 2. Oh well. Yeah. If we lose, yet again, oh well, we lose. They're a Championship club.
Looking at the fixtures, we play each other on the 31st of October. I had a look before hitting record. So thank you for the 3 points in advance.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think so. It'll be a tough game. It'll be a tight game. But I don't think you'll be able to walk over us and get an easy 3 points. Let's not say it like that, okay?
All right, okay. What's your reaction been to the fixture list? Are you have you got a tough first couple of games? Is it sort of a bit of a mixed bag?
It's a mixed bag. We've obviously spoken about Tranmere, first day of the season, first day of the League Two season, shall we say. We've got Tranmere. Then it's an away trip to Leyton Orient, which I'll probably not go to. It's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
As a journalist, you just can't be arsed sometimes. So Leyton Orient will probably be given a miss. Then we've got Exeter at home. Then there's another away day, which is, let me have a look. It is, well, never mind. I can't find it. But we've got a stacked couple of games. It's obviously more of a routine, which it's home away. Yeah. And in October, we've got Newport County, Stevenage, Bradford, Morecambe, Cheltenham, Barrow on a Tuesday.
You've got a real kind of up and down there where you've got teams that, if they can continue how they were last season, are looking up the league. You're really doing that.
Yeah, we are doing the up and down, but the only worrying thing is, if fans are allowed in October, Barrow away, boys.
Good luck with that, but
I'm not going. I can't. But no disrespect to Barrow, but on a Tuesday night as well. No, thank you. I'll probably be giving it a miss.
Right, starting to sort of wrap this up. What's your hopes? What do you think's going to happen next season, and what do you hope will happen next season? Try and contain what you're going to say now.
You know what I was going to say, but I'm going to contain excitement. With the signings we have made, and with obviously we've got to think realistically. We finished 21st last season.
Yeah.
It can only go on the up. I pray to God it doesn't go on the down. Yes, there are 3 places there near the bottom, but we're not going to go into that. I'm looking at the up. Signings we have made, I want to say, will probably end up between 9th and 15th.
So you think sort of real proper mid-table?
Mid-table, bog standard. I'll probably, if the players do gel well, then hoping to look for a playoff push. But as a realistic expectation, I'll probably say 9th to 15th.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, sort of not. If you do finish in that 9th, then like a little eye on the playoffs. But anything really mid-table, I think. Like you said, you look at the signings you've made, you look at then where you finished last season.
Yeah, exactly.
And anything between 9th and 15th, it is progress. And if you can then keep a core of the players, you're looking at a build over a couple of seasons. So obviously we talked about a lot of players. Who do you think your key player will be, and who's the sort of younger talent to really keep an eye out for?
Well, obviously, we both write for the same website.
Yeah.
We've done I've done my Mansfield one. I don't know whether you've done your Warsaw one when this comes out, but if you haven't, you're a naughty boy. But
we're going to get promoted just over and over again. Key players, all of them.
I'll delete it all as an editor, and I'll make you do it again. But no, looking at the key players, I put Jamie Reid, striker. I put if he gets the consistent assistance, and if he gets the key balls played to him, he's not afraid to shoot. He'll shoot from anywhere. If he finds the angle, he'll shoot. And
if he can really adapt, having a couple of seasons out of the Football League and hit the ground running in the Football League again,
that's completely spot on for me. I'll be smiling all the way to the bank. But Jamie Reid, one player that would be a key player for myself. Ollie Clark in the midfield, another key player. If he's fit, that is. I believe he's had some injury problems that have sidelined him from one of the friendlies. I believe it was Peterborough. But if he can have the same vision, the same passing as he did in Bristol Rovers when Cochrane was around, made him captain, then phenomenal. And then looking at the back, it'll probably be Sweeney, big Ryan Sweeney.
So who's the young hot prospect?
Again, we'll probably be looking at I'll probably go striker with Jimmy Knowles. He played a few games in the league and in the cups last season for Mansfield. He's younger than me. Let's say that he is younger. He's 18, and he's on the rise. He smashed some goals in the Leeson.com trophy. Gets crew outside the box, beautiful goal. Scored a penalty against Oldham. which is good to see.
So he's shown he can mix it up with when he's put in the first team. It's whether really he's going to get his opportunity in the Football League rather than the Cup side of things.
The thing is, what I really want to see from Knowles and what I really want to see from Coughlin, he said in his press conferences that he really looks forward to seeing what the young talents and young youth academy can bring.
So there's a route into the first team.
Yeah, with Jimmy, he's been in and around the first team for, I want to say, 2 seasons now. But the thing is, he needs a partner that could lead him. So like, I want to say like your Rose, like your Reed, that type of player that could potentially show him how to do things more efficiently, show him how to score.
And to take the pressure off of the limelight away from the younger player, have the experienced one.
Yeah, 100%. But I really want to see the youth team really go at it and battle for their first team places. So your Jimmy Knowles, your Alistair Smiths, your James Clarks. Who else have you really got? Your Aidan Stone, even at goalkeeper. I really want to see them battle for their first team places. But hopefully Coughlin can mix it up sometimes and chuck some of the youth team as well, just to get some experience, just to get some flavour of League Two football, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the 31st of October.
You're getting battered.
As Adrian said, we both do write for other websites as well. So who knows? We might even both be at that game.
Could be.
Covering it from other points of view.
Could be. It could happen, to be fair. You from a Warsaw perspective, me from a Mansfield perspective. I wouldn't be complaining. I'm happy to see you there.
Yeah. So keep an eye out. Right. Thank you very much. And I wish you, everyone else I've said, wish you the best for the season. I wish you the worst of luck for the season to come. Okay.
Same goes to you, my friend.
Good speaking to you.
You too.